civilization faces its greatest challenge yet: rising global temperatures and changing climate. Many faith communities are responding to the clarion call from our scientists and acting on the growing need to respect the natural world that makes all life possible. We are at the birth of the next revolution, one that will see our entire global economy shift away from fossil fuels. This is the dawn of the age of renewable energy. The question is, are we up for the task? This series has explored the deepening crisis of global warming and climate change.
For the first time, we can conclude to the 90% confidence level, in other words, 9 out of 10 chance, that at least half the warming that has been observed in the atmosphere and the climate system over the last 50 years is due to a human influence.
We have asked what our different faiths require of us as custodians of the natural world.
Jesus Christ came on earth because God so loved the world. I mean, not just because God so loved human beings or God so loved women or men or Israelites.
And we have introduced some communities who are actively working to conserve their environment and the climate.
The work we do is not only good for the environment, it's not only good for our livelihoods on an everyday basis, but it's also important in serving as a carbon sink.
In this final episode, we'll look at how the world's citizens must respond. Because now it is time to look for the solutions.
Nations have got to come together and say, our own personal vested interests have to be sublimated to the common good, not of my country, but of everybody, and in fact all life on this planet. Not just people, all life.
We live in a world in which isolation is no longer possible. We are all interdependent, and we share an inescapable responsibility for the well-being of the entire world. If we can recognize that we are all part of a global family, then the ability to change becomes easier. And it is through religion that this change can happen. Religions offer a source of insight and ethical courage, and pave the path to generosity and cooperation. In so doing, the challenge to religion becomes loftier, as its duty is to strive towards the preservation of peace, love, justice, compassion for all of life, and the dignity of planet Earth.
God wants us to enjoy this wonderful creation. Jesus says in John's Gospel, I come that you have fullness of life. God wants us to have the fullness of life. But He doesn't want us to be selfish and to acquire it all to ourselves so that others go without.
At this point, the changes will happen. We've gone too far into the game for it not to happen. But I think it's been mitigated to a large extent. It could have been much worse than it is, because there are so many spiritual people on the planet who are focused around preventing the total destruction of what could have been.
The Earth Charter is a declaration of fundamental ethical principles for building a just, sustainable, and peaceful global society in the 21st century. In its opening statement, it says, "We stand at a critical moment in Earth's history, a time when humanity must choose its future. We must join together to bring forth a sustainable global society founded on respect for nature, universal human rights, economic justice, and a culture of peace. Towards this end, it is imperative that we, the peoples of Earth, declare our responsibility to one another, to the greater community of life, and to future generations.